دكتور نبدأ بسم الله.
The last topic in our comparative politics section, we mentioned earlier in the course that we have two main sections. The first one is concerning comparative politics, which we will discuss political systems, types of governments, political parties and interest groups, etc., and international relations. The last topic in that first section concerning the comparative politics is public opinion. Where we are as a people, we mentioned the government, the parliament, the judiciary, which is formal institution, and we mentioned political parties, interest groups as informal institution. Where are we, people? How can we influence the political system? How we can influence the parliament or the government? How we can influence decision making? Is there any access to us, people who are not involved in political parties or in interest groups, to influence the decision-making process, to influence the political system, where we are in the political system? This is what we call public opinion, okay, which concern of the will of the people, normal people who are not involved necessarily in political parties or in interest groups, and want to affect or having voice, having opinion, having attitudes toward different issues. What does it mean, public opinion? So we will first of all define the public opinion. What is public opinion? The shape of public opinion, okay? Measuring public opinion, what we call polls. You may heard about polls indicate so and so, polls indicate that Trump may be elected for next time, or Bernie Sanders have a chance, or John Biden is advancing. You know, those kind of polls are also important. So those are the three main points we will discuss in public opinion, our public opinion discussion. First of all, what does it mean, public opinion? The definition. Simply, public opinion, it's us. It's all of us. All of us, or most of us, having a particular view, attitude, opinion, priority, will, wish, whatever. This is public opinion. So public opinion is the desires, attitudes, and thinking of majority of the people. Why we call majority? It is impossible that all the people agree upon one thing. If we are the class, as a faculty, as a university, as a city, a village, whoever, as a state, we cannot all of us agree about something. So public opinion, it is not all people, but the majority of people. The majority of people views, attitude, way of thinking, priority, wishes, desires, what we prefer, okay? It is a collective opinion. We can mention that as a collective opinion, okay, of the people, or most of the people of a society or a state, on an issue or a problem, okay? So, if, for example, if we are discussing the, let us say, the century, okay? What is the public opinion attitude concerning century or day of the century, which declared by Trump, etc.? Maybe the public opinion in Egypt, the majority of people think in a way different from Jordan, different from Palestinian, different from other societies, different from, of course, the United States. So public opinion desires or attitudes also differ from society to society. Okay? Even within the same society, it differs from a city to a city or a group to group, from a university to a university. Okay? So this is, that's why we cannot have some kind of whole popular opinion for all people, but as we mentioned, it's a collective opinion for the majority of people, most of the people, concerning an issue or a problem. Because it is not necessarily a problem in the society, but it is an issue, maybe a plan for the future, how they think about the future, okay? Sometimes also it's considered or being for a candidate. What is the public opinion about Trump policy concerning the blacks, concerning people from Mexico? Okay, do people or most of the people in the United States support Trump or not in his policies? Okay, some of course may agree and some may disagree, but the most important, how the majority is seeing Trump policies toward blacks or toward Mexican or toward Latin Americans. This is very important. This is the public opinion. Okay. Public opinion is most important or more important in democracy, in democratic country. Why? Why particularly in democratic countries? Because in democratic countries, the main tool, the main way to reach the authority or to assume the power, okay, is according to election. So election is the way to reach power, either to be a member of the parliament or to be a president, etc. So in democracy, reaching power mainly depends on what? On how far people satisfy with the policies or seeing that candidate or that policy, they agree or disagree with it. So as long as in democracy or in democratic regimes, people come through elections and depend on people in their assuming power, so they are very keen to fulfill power, people desires, wishes, etc. So they are so interested in public opinion. And that's why in public opinion, they are very important in democratic regimes and democratic systems, and also very effective and powerful in those regimes. Elections provide only a crude expression the public well. Elections may indicate what voters generally think of the candidate overall, but rarely focus on specific issues. What does it mean? That elections express the will of people. When in the last elections, in the last British elections, the last elections in Britain, when people vote for Boris Johnson and for Conservative Party, what does it mean? It means that most or the majority of people, okay, most of the people in Britain want Brexit. So when people vote in elections, they express their wishes, their desires, what they want, okay? How far they are satisfied or dissatisfied with something, okay? So it is very important tool, the elections are very important tools for to measure or to know the or to express the will of the people, okay? And usually it is overall, it is general thinking, okay? It is not concerning a specific issue. Yes, in the case of Boris Johnson, Brexit, but Brexit is not, yes, it is issue, it is a proud issue. It means many things, by the way, and have many implications in all sectors and in all fields, in political, economic, social, in health, in education, in business, in every everywhere. So it is also a broad, not a very specific, narrow issue, it is a broad issue. Public opinion surveys fill in the details, so officials know what people think about specific problems, such as healthcare or a war or whatever. What does it mean? It means that surveys, you know about surveys of public opinion, indicate that people prefer insurance, public, that they are not satisfied with the public health system exists, and they need more care, more hospitals, more services, whatever. So usually those surveys measure how people are satisfied with the service introduced, or with the political system, or the policies in general, particularly the public policies. Public policies, we mean education, healthcare, youth policies, transportation policies, whatever. This is what we call day-to-day policies related to day-to-day life of the people. So surveys may give us a measuring indicators, very important indicators, to how people are satisfied or not satisfied with those policies. So the decision makers, the officials, can rethinking and restructuring their policies according to the will or desires or wishes of the public opinion. If the people are not that much satisfied with the policy they are following, they should think about it, and they should think how to improve it, how to develop it, to satisfy public opinion, and to make the public opinion by a way or another satisfied and addressing their policies. Officials often try to create the public opinion they desire by addressing the nation through the media. From time to time, yes, you are saying Trump, Johnson, Xi Jinping, whoever later, whoever official, talking to the people, addressing to the people. Why? Because they are trying to affect the public opinion, okay? To make them following what policies they are made, and to convince them that is the best policies they can have, and why they do so and don't do that, because this is very important to create, to have a supportive public opinion to the policies of the government, okay? And that's why from time to time, usually the officials and the leaders, you find them talking to the people directly or indirectly. For example, President Trump from time to time making a Twitter to explain why he did so, and to keep public informed with his policies to attract their support. Public opinion is not spontaneous. It has to be manufactured from a center of conviction and energy. What does it mean? Public opinion, it is not just a reaction of the people. It is not spontaneous. Spontaneous, it means reaction, just a reaction. No, it is not just a reaction of the people. Okay, you need to be shaped, okay, to be organized, to have some ideas to give it to the people, to empower by a way or another their way of thinking and their desires, etc. Public opinions is often led to manipulated by interest groups. So, who would lead public opinion? Who would help to shape public opinion? Interest groups. Did you remember when we explained interest groups' structures and tools? And we mentioned that one of those structures or tools is to direct their effort to the people, and to create some kind of public opinion support of their interests, and to affect that public opinion by a way or another, to be supportive for them. This is a way. So, public opinion is not that reaction, but sometimes it is shaped, it is planned, it is manipulated, okay? And one of the main tools to manipulate in public opinion is interest group through ground movement from them and contact with other people directly. And through media. Actually, media playing very important, crucial role in shaping the public opinion, okay, and guiding the public opinion. So media also very important tool and very effective, by the way, in, as I mentioned, guiding the public opinion. Any government is vulnerable to public opinion. Think about it. Any government affected by public opinion. No one can ignore public will. No one. However, it is in democratic system, in authoritarian system, in dictatorship, when the people talk, when the people stand, nobody can ignore it. So any government, regardless it is democratic or authoritarian, cannot ignore to public opinion, should take public opinion into consideration. Otherwise, it will be unstable and in danger. So all government interested in public opinion, either to listen to it, to improve their policies and to develop their policies and have satisfaction from the people, or to, by way or another, to manipulate it, to also have their support against or in front of the outside group. Here, public opinion and propaganda. What is the difference between public opinion and propaganda? We mentioned the definition of public opinion, okay? So the question is, how far public desire or attitude or thinking differ from what sometimes you heard as propaganda? What is propaganda? Public opinion, widespread attitudes about controversial issues. It means what? It means that there is issue, problem, policy, and people differ about it. Some people say this is good, some others say that it is not that much good, etc. The majority is supporting or against. This is the public opinion. Some people have no opinion at all, by the way. So we are talking about majority, most of the people. Because among us even, if you are discussing a matter, okay, some people have no attitude, no opinion. And so the most important is how the majority see the issue. Even on some important issue, a majority of people have no clear opinion. Sometimes. So this is a public opinion. Propaganda, something else. Propaganda information presented with the intention of shaping public opinion. It means that I gave some information, full of information or news, to shape, to manipulate the public opinion. And usually propaganda is used when other governments, okay, foreign governments, maybe enemy or not that much, have a good relation with our government, doing that. They are keeping, following, making flow information, flow of news to shape a public opinion inside the country. This is propaganda. That's why from time to time you may hear that Russians, for example, say that there is a Western or American propaganda against Russia, against China. Why? They think that the United States or Western media keeping pushing forward information, news, etc., to shape the public or to affect the public opinion inside Russia or inside China, whatever. That's what happened in Egypt with Al Jazeera, China keeping pushing news, etc., to shape by way or another public opinion inside Egypt. So propaganda is a different issue than public opinion. Thin line between information and propaganda. Information, it means I'm telling you the truth, all the truth, okay? Whether I agree or disagree with that, but this is the facts. I'm telling you facts, and all facts. But propaganda, I'm telling you specific information to guide the public opinion in a certain direction and affect it in a certain direction. So it is two different issues, completely two different issues. Of course, not all propaganda is false. When the government make our own government, sometimes guiding the propaganda, it is not sometimes serving its interests, okay? But as I told you, some propaganda is very dangerous, and by all means, people should care about what news and the sources of news and information to avoid propaganda and to have objective attitudes or objective vision concerning the development or different developments. This is simply what is propaganda. It is to pursue, to influence, to manipulate attitude, okay, emotions, behavior, to guide your choice. So the main aim of propaganda, as I mentioned, is to guide the public opinion, to guide our choices as people in certain direction. Okay, this is different, and this is where the danger is. Okay, this is just what is the difference between propaganda and public opinion, because you may listen to that propaganda or the word propaganda and to be aware what is the difference between the two. The shape of public opinion. Among the factors that shape the public opinion are social class, educational level, region, religion, age, ethnicity, and gender. What does it mean? It means that many factors, many elements affecting the public opinion. Of course, there are a wide range of those factors and elements. But most important, maybe the social class. Of course, labor or workers' attitude would be different from businessmen, big business attitudes concerning one issue, of course. Right or not? Of course. Maybe gender also. Sometimes there's a difference between men and women. Religion. Why only Muslim that much caring about what happened in some Muslim areas, or what happened in India toward Muslims, whatever. Why Muslims only? Because of religion. So in age, of course, old people is different from young ones like you in certain matters or attitudes. So those are some factors that affecting the public opinion. Religion. Religion is often the most explosive issue in politics and contributes a great deal to the constructing of opinion. One of the most important factors of Christian. When you said haram, so it is finished, the discussion is finished, right or not? When it is related to Muslims, so most Muslims supportive to it, like this cartoons against Prophet Muhammad, for example, Danish cartoons. It was a wide matter. All Muslims all over the world having such uprising against it. So you don't have only public opinion in one country, but some kind of general Muslim public opinion against that Danish cartoons against Prophet Muhammad. So religion is playing very important and crucial effect on public opinion. And sometimes it is the most effective one, and as I told you, the most important factor guiding the public opinion in general. Okay? So religion is important. We have also age. Of course, our interests, priorities, attitudes differ according to age. People change as they age. All people not like you differ from your mom or dad, etc. Thus, young people are naturally radical. In what? Usually young people with few responsibilities, right or not? You don't care only yourself. You have not that much social responsibilities or social burden. That's why most of young people usually radical, and older people moderate or even conservative, because they have so many responsibilities, social burden. They need to pay for your education, need to pay for your food, need to pay for your even funny things. So they have burden. Okay? Young people can be idealistic and rebellious, okay? Quite radical, but with the burdens of home, job, taxes, and children of their own, people tend to become conservative. That's why your mom or dad are more conservative than you, simply because they have social responsibilities and they have burden. They need to serve, okay? They have the jobs, the taxes, your responsibility yourself, so they usually tend to be conservative. But people with no such big responsibilities, we feel a little bit more free or radical, to revolt, to have some radical attitudes, okay? Gender also matters. Traditionally, women were more conservative, more concerned with home, family, and morality. Traditionally, that was long ago. Why? Because before, women, the one who mainly responsible for the home, okay? But as a society modernizes, men and women views changes, okay? Now you find women having strikes, having marches, they are participating in revolutions. You saw in Lebanon, in Algeria, etc. They stand side by side to men, so they differ now. Women leave home to work and become more aware of social and economic problems and express their own political views. Among you, traditionally in our faculty, most of the students are girls, okay? And so world changes. Women's ideas, attitude, way of thinking also changes. There is now a big difference between the two concerning many issues, particularly if it is general, not gender one. If it's gender, maybe you will have some difference between women and men. But if it is a society issue or problem or worldwide problem, you will not find that much difference between men and women. Ethnicity. Ethnicity also plays a distinct role of its own, especially in the multi-ethnic states like the United States, where some ethnic groups form political subculture. For example, in the United States, blacks they are forming political subculture structure organizations. So they are having different attitudes, and that may reflect in some difference between Democrats and Republicans in the United States. Usually, Democrats tend to fulfill or to have black interests into concentration, and even into within their membership, blacks are clear, okay? And we shouldn't forget that Obama was a Democrat, okay? So issnicity is also important. How far each ethnic group view the issue and having a particular attitude, of course different, particularly in multi-ethnic states, and particularly if the issue or the problem related to them. When the blacks revolt or having some strikes against American police, and they organize marches under the slogans Blacks Lives Matters. Here, all blacks supported, of course, that movement, and some whites, of course, but of course all blacks supported because it mattered them, okay? It related to them as blacks, so all blacks supported. Yes, some whites supported, of course, because of it is human rights, so they are citizens, etc., for different reasons, but blacks all support. So ethnicity, one of the main factors that shape or that affect public opinion. How we can measure public opinion? This is a very important question. How we can measure? Because some people said that people say, people think, people view. How far we can talk about people? How far we can say that this is a public opinion, Egyptian public opinion, American one, German one, British one? How far? Measuring public opinion can by different tools. First, elections. Election can indicate how people or what the people want or desire or view or attitude. If we elect, for example, Johnson, so we need more and more steps toward Brexit. Okay, so you can from the elections and from choosing one candidate and not other, you can having an idea about what the public opinion think. Interest groups also are private organizations whose members share set your view and work to shape public opinion. Interest groups are a chief means by which public opinion is made known. So we can also know the public opinion through the movement of interest groups. Media, yes, it's affecting public opinion, but at the same time it works as mirrors to public opinion. Because usually media, yes, it may affect them, try to guide their opinion, but at the same time they usually cover all the topics, the problems, the issues that the people are interested in. Otherwise, the people will not see the media. So they are still working as mirrors. Personal contacts. Public officials rely on frequent and wide-ranging contacts with their constituents. Mean what? If I am a member of the parliament, usually I'm going back to my village, to my town, to my district, and listen to the people directly, what they need, what they think about, what their priorities, their wishes, their desires, their will. So this direct contact also is very important. They raise questions and listen to the answers of the people. And people also ask them a certain question, indicate their desires and their views and attitudes. But most important to measure, or in measuring public opinion, are polls. Okay? So, measuring public opinion may be used, or there are many channels or tools or ways to know the public opinion, but most important, polls. Polls methods that attempt to collect information by asking people questions. What does it mean, polls? It means that I need to know how the people think. So what I can do, I will ask them questions concerning the issue or the problem or the topic I am interested in, and from their answer I can say what does the public opinion think about. Okay? This is very important tool. Polls, very famous all over the world, and usually all governments rely on polls. Polls are very effective and very popular during election times to know who the candidates would or will be chosen, and also the party, maybe not a candidate but a party, the one who have more chance than others to win the elections. It is also used to, as I mentioned, to know the public mood, what the people prefer, what the people like. So the public opinion poll make or depend on asking questions to whom. Can I ask all the people? In a country like Egypt, we have 100 million. In the United States, we have more than 300 million. It is possible to ask each of them? No. So what we will do, usually I depend on what we call a sample. What does it mean, a sample? Can I ask all the class what they prefer or think? Sometimes it is difficult, because the class is maybe 60 or 80 people, and we don't have time for that. And in the polls, you cannot, or you don't have time and money and access, capabilities to ask all the people. So usually you ask a sample, a few people from the society, and you depend upon their answer as a guide to the public opinion. What called a survey. So the survey, any survey depends on asking or reaching a sample representing the society, and so I can consider that sample as public opinion concerning the issue or the matter we are talking about. How I chose the sample? Okay, the sample should represent the society: women, men, young people, old people, all the society. If there is ethnicity like in the United States, should be white, should be black, should be those originally from Latin America. So it should cover all the components of the society. Samples those persons to be interviewed, the one I will ask them. In a survey, a small fraction of the population, representing the whole population. Public opinion surveys are generally reliable. What does it mean, reliable? I can depend on. It gives me indication. Yes, it is not measuring strictly what the people think about, okay? No, not necessarily, okay? But at least it gives me a guide, it gives me indication. It is reliable, I can depend on the results of it. Yes, it doesn't give me each person in the society what they think. So I can't say this is exactly the public opinion. No, but it gives me indication and I can build on that guide or indication. Provided we recognize the limits, that's what I'm talking about. That survey is important, okay, and it gives me a guide. Of course, I can depend on, but I should recognize that this is within limits. Limits of what? Of the sample. The sample should be representing to the whole society. But of course, it is not like the whole society. It's representing the whole society, but not necessarily. Okay, I mean, maybe others didn't or wouldn't be in the sample and still having different views. But this is the main trend, the main the view of the sample, which can give the indication how the majority in the society think about it. Public opinion is volatile, able to change quickly under the impact of events. What does it mean? The public opinion is not fixed thing. People, all of us, change our attitudes, change our opinions, change our views, right or not? No one stay on his attitude forever. It depends upon what? It depends upon the information you have. Sometimes you have initial attitude, and after you have some news, some information, some clarification, you change your mind. Okay? Sometimes you be affected from others. You have a view, an attitude, a way of thinking, but when you discuss that or say that most of the people thinking differently, sometimes you change your attitude. Okay? So by a way or another, people can change their attitudes, their opinions. The public opinion is not fixed. It is changeable according to the events and information they got. So, public opinion polls, one of the most important tools to measure the public opinion or to know what is public opinion, how I can do it in big countries or even in small countries. Suppose that the country is 1 million. It is also difficult to reach all of them. There is time limits, and we are talking about limits. We have time limits. We have also capability or money limits. So we usually depend on samples to do the surveys. And samples is okay, results is okay, I can depend on that, but within those limits, and take care that sometimes public opinion it change their views, and maybe the results not anymore after 1 month, 1 year is not the same. So usually the results is related to the moment we are doing the survey, and maybe after a week, after a month, after a year, that it changes. So the public opinion is no more, or the results is no more applicable to the situation. And that's why what happened. Sometimes polls indicate that one of the candidates will win the elections. Most of the polls in the United States mentioned that Hillary Clinton would win the elections in 2016. And of course, what happened later is totally different when Trump won the elections. Also, usually in Britain, some polls indicate Labour Party or Conservative Party, and the results come to change that expectation or polls. Totally different. It doesn't matter, or it doesn't mean that samples or surveys are not good. It's still very important. And some people change their attitude, particularly in candidates, or we are talking about elections. Some people change their mind or attitudes. Some polls, unfortunately, and we have this problem in polls, that some polls may be directed by way or another, or not that much objective. That's why the results later on come differently. But anyway, it is a very important tool. We still depend on it within the limits we mentioned. This is all about public opinion. Thanks so much, and if you have any questions, please contact me on email or WhatsApp. Thank you.